and rewarded when they succeed. Canada needs more of this type of change. Change that puts more money in people's pockets. Change that makes our companies more competitive. Change that builds the strongest economy in the G7. Now, there's someone who's trying to do the opposite. There's someone who's trying to weaken our economy. Yeah, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, as we know, has put, as the Prime Minister just said, unjustified tariffs on what we build, on what we sell, on how we make a living. He's attacking Canadian families, workers, and businesses, and we cannot let him succeed. And we won't. We won't. I am proud of the response of Canadians who are making their voices heard and their wallets felt. I am grateful for how our provinces are stepping up to the fight, because when we are united, we are Canada strong. The Canadian government has rightly retaliated and is rightly retaliating with our own tariffs that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada. And my government will keep our tariffs on until the Americans show us respect. And until they can join us in making credible and reliable commitments to free and fair trade, as Krishna did. Yeah. And in the meantime, we will ensure that all the proceeds from our tariffs will be used to protect our workers. Les Américains veulent nos ressources,
they want our resources, our water,
notre territoire,
our land,
notre pays.
our country even.
Jamais, oui. Pensez-y.
Never. Think about that for a moment.
Ça va détruire
That will
notre
destroy
façon d'être.
our way of life.
The Americans want our resources, our water, our land, our country. Think about it. If they succeeded, they would destroy our way of life. In America, healthcare is a big business. In Canada, it is a right. Thank you. America is a melting pot. Canada is a mosaic. Aux États-Unis,
In the US,
on ne reconnaît pas les
differences are
différences.
not respected or
On ne reconnaît
recognized.
pas les Premières
First
Nations.
Nations aren't recognized,
Et il n'y aura jamais
and
de
the French
droit à la langue
language
française.
would never have any rights.
La joie de vivre, la culture
The joie
et
de
la langue
vivre,
française
culture,
font
and the French
partie
language
de notre
are part of our
identité.
identity.
Il faut les protéger, il
Protect
faut
that.
les
We
promouvoir.
must promote that as well.
On ne les échangera jamais,
We'll never
jamais, pour
Give them
n'importe
up
quel
for
accord
any
commercial.
trade agreement.
No. Look, America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win. Aux Américains,
To Americans,
je vous dis,
I say to
comme
you,
hockey, nous allons
as
gagner.
in hockey, we will win.
Mais cette victoire
But that
ne sera
victory
pas facile.
won't be easy.
Nous faisons face à la
We're
crise la plus
facing
importante de notre vie.
the greatest crisis of
Nous
our
devrons faire des
lifetimes.
choses
We have to do
extraordinaires
extraordinary
ensemble.
things, and together.
Nous devrons construire des
We
choses
have
que
to
nous
build
n'avions
things
jamais
that we've never
imaginées, un
imagined we would
rythme
have to do
que nous
at a
n'aurions
pace
jamais
that we would
cru
have never
possible.
believed possible.
Et surtout,
And above all,
nous devons mettre
must
les gens
place people
avant l'argent.
above money.
Il faut s'unir. Il faut
We have
s'unir
to
pour
unite
bâtir le pays le
to
plus
build
fort, le plus
the
juste et
strongest,
le plus libre du
the
monde.
fairest and the freest country in the world.
Now, Donald Trump is trying to weaken our economy. But there's someone else who, if he succeeds, will weaken our economy. It's Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre just doesn't get it. He is the type of lifelong politician, and I've seen this type around the world, a lifelong politician who worships at the altar of the free market despite never having made a payroll himself. And now, in the face of President Trump's threats, Pierre Poilievre still refuses to get his security clearance. At a time when our national security is under threat as has never been before. At a time of immense economic insecurity, he would undermine the Bank of Canada. Monsieur Poilievre veut fermer
Poilievre
Radio-Canada.
has called
Radio-Canada et
shutting
CBC.
down CBC.
Ouais. À un moment
At a time
où la
when
désinformation et l'ingérence
disinformation and foreign
étrangère
interference
sont en plein essor.
Are in
Il insulte
are on
nos
the
maires
march.
et il ignore les
He
Premières
insults our
Nations
mayors
quand
and
il est
ignores
temps
the First
de
Nations
bâtir.
when it's time to build.
Il mettra fin à
He
l'aide
intends
internationale,
to put an end to
alors que la
international
démocratie et les
aid
droits de
when
la personne
democracy
sont
and
en
human rights
péril
are in
à travers
danger
le monde.
across the world.
Et
And
il
he will
laissera
also allow
notre planète
our
brûler.
planet to burn.
Pierre Poilievre would let our planet burn. This is not leadership. It's ideology. It's ideology that betrays what we as Canadians value, each other. It's an ideology that also represents a fundamental misunderstanding of how the economy works. Now, unlike Pierre Poilievre, I've actually worked in the private sector. I know how the world works, and I know how it can be made to work better for all of us. And that knowledge is especially useful now in the service of Canadians when we must build a new economy and create new trading relationships. Let me tell you something else that we know that Pierre Poilievre doesn't. We know that markets don't have values, people do. And we know as liberals that it's our job to make markets, to make the economy work for all Canadians. These are the most powerful tool we've ever invented. They can find solutions to our greatest problems. And when the private sector, when the markets are governed well, they deliver great jobs and stronger growth faster than anything. But markets are also indifferent to human suffering, and they are blind to our greatest needs. So when they're not governed well, or not at all, they will deliver enormous wealth for the lucky few and hard times for the rest. And in this crisis, we must help those who are hit hardest by the American tariffs while we build our strength here at home. That's the right thing to do. That's the fair thing to do. That is the Canadian thing to do. That is what makes us strong. So Donald Trump thinks he can weaken us with his plan to divide and conquer. Pierre Poilievre's plan will leave us divided and ready to be conquered. Because a person who worships at the altar of Donald Trump will kneel before him, not stand up to him. Pierre Poilievre's slogans are not solutions. His anger is in action. His division is in strength. Division won't win a trade war. Division won't pay the rent or the mortgage. Division won't bring down the price of groceries. Division won't make Canada strong. Voilà où mène la politique
This is
négative
where
de la
negative
division,
politics and division
de la colère.
and anger takes us.
La moitié
Half
des États-Unis
of the US
craignent l'autre.
fears the
Ils
other
s'en
half.
méfient.
They're wary of each other.
Nous ne pouvons pas laisser
We
une telle
can't allow
situation
such a
se produire
situation
au
to
Canada.
occur here in Canada.
Les Américains les Américains deviennent de plus en plus
increasingly
divisés,
divided,
ce qui va les
and this
affaiblir.
will weaken them.
Et nous gagnerons
We will win
cette bataille
this fight
si nous sommes
if
unis
we
et
are
forts.
united and strong.
Ouais. Ouais. On
Yes,
peut se disputer au
we
sujet de la
might
politique.
disagree over policy.
On peut se disputer à propos
We might
de hockey.
disagree over hockey.
On peut même
You
être
can
une fan
support
des
the
Oilers. à Ottawa.
Oilers in Ottawa. That's possible.
C'est un pays libre,
It's a free country after all.
mais quand il s'agit
But
du
when it comes
Canada,
to Canada,
nous sommes tous du
We're
même
all
côté.
on the same
Choisissons
side.
fort.
Let's choose to be
Canada
strong.
fort.
Canada strong.
Now, I've learned a few things from long experience in crises. And the first is that plan beats no plan. And you need to distinguish what you can change from what you can't. We can't change Donald Trump. Can't change him. Nous devons comprendre ce que nous
But we have to
pouvons et
understand
devons
what we
changer.
can and we must
Nous
change.
sommes maîtres chez
We are
nous.
masters in our own house.
And we can. And because we're masters in our own home, we can control our economic destiny with a plan that puts more money in your pockets. A plan that will ensure your government spends less so Canada can invest more. A plan that builds millions of homes. A plan that makes us an energy superpower in both clean and conventional energy. A plan that creates new trade corridors with reliable partners. A plan that creates one Canadian economy, not 13. Because in Canada, we are stronger when we're united. We can give ourselves far, far more than Donald Trump can ever take away. But it will take extraordinary efforts. It won't be business as usual. We will have to do things we haven't imagined before at speeds we didn't think possible. We will do it. We will do it for the common good so that everyone benefits. You know, I do care about the economy. But it's not because I'm an economist. It's because I care about people. That's why I'm a liberal. That's why we are liberals. On sait
It's
On
clear
sait que la valeur
that
d'une
the
économie
value
forte
of a
commence
strong
par des
economy
travailleurs
starts
qui ont de
with the
bons
workers
emplois
who
bien
have
payés
good, well-paying
aujourd'hui,
jobs
des
today
avenirs plus brillants
and
pour
to
les
have
jeunes de demain.
better futures
Nous savons,
for them
en tant que
and
libéraux,
for today's youth.
que nous ne
We
pouvons
know as
pas
liberals that we
redistribuer
can't
ce
redistribute
que nous n'avons pas.
what we don't have.
Nous savons
We also know
que nous ne pouvons pas
that we can't
être
be
forts à
strong
l'étranger
abroad
si nous sommes
if
faibles à la
we're
maison.
weak at home.
Et nous
We also
savons
know
que nous ne pouvons pas
that we cannot
construire un
build
avenir
a better
meilleur
future
si nous ne pouvons pas
if we're unable
gérer le
to
présent.
manage the present.
So, we need a strong economy, but when we're fighting for a strong economy, we're fighting for good Canadian health care for everyone. We are fighting for strong support for our seniors who built this country. We are fighting for child care for young families that they put in place. We are fighting for dental care and pharma care for everyone who needs it. We are fighting for rights. We are fighting for a strong economy so we can create a more sustainable world for our children and grandchildren, and we will deliver.